Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back, and welcome to the new year. I feel like always when it comes to the new year, it's kind of, you know, opinions are splitted. Some love the new year and take this as an opportunity and motivation to, get things going and to just live out their greatest goals and everything. And others are like, no, I don't need goals for that. I literally just need me any time of the year. But what I want to bring up today is not on which end of these sides we're at, but rather something that will help you on both ends of this. And it's the forcing part and always wanting to improve. And for that, I'll go a little bit into my past. So basically, my self development journey started in 2017. And for the first 7 years of my journey, I was working on myself, pushing, reflecting, optimizing, anything that comes with it and that you might know as well, like setting up goals and everything. And even though I learned a lot in this time, I never seemed to really get to my goals in the way I imagine it to be, even though working hard for 7 years straight. You know what I mean? It was also very, very frustrating to me because imagine you're trying to develop yourself all the time, you're giving your best, you're improving, reflecting, constantly doing the things others might even not do, and still you're not reaching your goals. And then I was like, wait, hold, let me stop for a minute. What is actually going on? What's wrong? So even though I did so much, nothing changed on the outside. And I think this was what exactly frustrated me, because when you are doing and putting in so much work, you're actually hoping to change something in the outside. But I don't know, whether it's the way you look, whether it's your bank account, whether it's your who you surround yourself with. When you put in all the work, you want your outside to reflect that, right? And I think that's nothing bad, but it's very interesting when the outside doesn't change. So I was realizing maybe force and more work isn't the missing ingredient. Maybe even though discipline is very, very important, even though everyone talks about discipline, maybe I'm not being disciplined, but maybe I'm forcing myself and keeping myself busy with things that are actually not moving the needle for me. It was actually only when I started connecting with my cycle in 2022 when I was viewing things differently for the first time. And even then, it took me a while to really reconnect all of that. But what it was about 2022, why I'm marking this year right now, is that understanding my biology was helping me understand myself better, because I understood that actually my energy isn't random, my moods aren't random, the way I am perceiving myself, the way I need love, and also my needs weren't weakness or something, but it's all tied to the cycle. When I learned this was like the first stepping stone, I would say, to the shift where I actually learned sitting with myself. Because as soon as I realized that I actually have all these different needs, that I have all these different phases where I'm going through and everything, it was kind of easier for me to actually give myself permission to have that different phases and also to have that different needs. And this ultimately helped me very, very much when it came to enduring negative feelings, because I was the sort of person that was avoiding negative feelings at all costs. Like, I hated being around them, like when I would feel sad or when I would feel angry or anything, I would go to the gym, I would journal, I would do something productive in order to push that feeling away, and in order to rather feel in control, feel that I'm moving forward, feel that I am improving myself, so I don't have the need to be sad or worried or whatever. But actually, you can be improving and you can be doing things and still feel sad, because it just is a human feeling. But anyways, I couldn't accept that back then. So I think this will be a huge portion of what I want to tell you today. I think the reason why it was so hard to sit with myself is not because it was only about the negative feelings, but also because anytime life would slow me down because of negative feelings, I would be having the fear of staying left behind, because I was thinking, in that minute where I'm now crying, where I'm now whatever, I could be pushing harder and going further, and if I don't do that, then eventually everyone else will get quicker as I am. But the thing is, the race is never with others. The race in life is not with how quickly I come there and if I'm quicker than someone else. Obviously, we can agree that when we talk about, I don't know, you're bringing out some technology, like an app or something, it's probably good to be not the last, Like, there are parts in life where you're definitely in a race, like just basic economic, like the free economy or stuff like that. But when it comes to self-development, I think you're never in a race with someone else. You're always in a race with yourself and with your past self, especially. Or I don't even know if there's a race, but you know what I want to say. So there was actually no need to rush. What all of this actually taught me was that I don't need to fix my feelings and that I just need to watch them. Sometimes you really just sit, watch, that's all. You know what I mean? Also, what it taught me is that I don't need to be rushing to a solution or to an answer to give an answer, because I'm a person that usually wants to give a quick answer, and sometimes when friends ask me like, you want to hang out, you want to go out, you want to do this and that, I'm the type of person that actually needs to first feel whether I want to do this. Sometimes I just need the time to myself. And this is also one thing that I learned with my cycle, for example, and through the cycle awareness and through the body awareness that I gained through it, that sometimes you really just need to connect with what you need right now. And when you're on all the time, it's harder to connect with what you're feeling. So it's so important for me to just not rush a solution or rush an answer, Like, you don't need to. Sit with it first. Also, what was important to me was that I needed to start noticing when the urge to change was actually avoidance, like what I've described before. And when I noticed this, then I would need to stop myself and actually say, hey, I'm trusting myself and my inner signals more than the external plan. Because an external plan, what I love to do is like sit down, write a plan and everything. And that gave me that feeling of control again and of security. And I don't say that this is something bad, but not having a plan immediately doesn't make you passive. Sometimes you need to sit with yourself first and then make the plan. And maybe you ask yourself, what does this self-trust or trusting these inner signals look like when I don't rely on the plan? And I would say trusting your inner signals is something like not overthinking your decisions, giving yourself time to feel, fewer plans. Also when it comes to social life, like just giving yourself spaces in between, spaces to breathe, spaces for time for yourself. For example, also not having every weekend or every day of the weekend planned out, but just like blocking some times for yourself, just fewer plans in general, softer mornings, and clearer no's. You're allowed to say no. This is also something where I learned to trust myself more, because when I wasn't trusting myself, I was feeling that I need to say yes to everything. And even if I would say no, then I would extremely explain it, like to the core, explain it to the core. This is my answer to what self-trust looks like at this moment to me. Probably because I struggled with these things in the past a lot, but I would be interested to see what is your definition of self-trust as well, what you think in this regards. Now, I said that I'm entering this new year without force, and I just want to share these 3 intentions that I'm carrying with me this year. And I am actually saying intentions because I didn't want to phrase them as goals, exactly because I don't want to be forcing change. I do have goals for 2026, but in this area, I am rather framing it as an intention instead of a goal. And the first intention is trust over pressure. I want to trust myself more and I want to be able to trust myself more than always needing to rely on some plan in order to feel safe. Again, I'm not saying that I don't have plans, but I just want to be able to, first of all, reflect really honestly and sit with myself before I then can make a plan about whatever it is. Intention number 2 is presence over constant improvement. Why this matters to me is because I want to check in with myself. I just want to really check in with myself before before I say yes to things, before I say yes to plans. I think this era of me requires me to fill my time wisely and to manage my time wisely also, you know? And this is where I first need to sit down and to think about what I want to do and what I don't want to do, or what I want to do in a later stage, before just saying yes to random plans. So self-check-ins it is for me this year, and being present with myself, with my feelings, with my body, with, you know, basically anything that can come up in the inside of myself. Intention number 3 is still being ambitious, because self-acceptance, radical self-acceptance, doesn't cancel ambition. It doesn't requires you to put away all of your goals. You can stay on track with your goals whilst not abandoning yourself anymore. And this is what my intention for me is this year. I think 2026 will be my most ambitious year ever, but I just won't be at war with myself anymore. And I feel like this is really beautiful, so I'll say it again. I'm still ambitious, staying on track with my goals. I'm just not at war with myself anymore. So yeah, I think we can close this by saying, if you ever felt tired of self-improvement, this is your sign and this is your reason why you're tired of self-improvement, because actually this was never aligning and this was not the way that's made for you, like not really sustainable, not for a long time. You can still be ambitious without being harsh to yourself, and especially you can trust what's already inside of you. So I hope that this little chit chat touched your heart and that you can really take something out of it, or maybe that you just feel seen, you know? I even met my goal with this. If some of you felt seen whilst listening, because I know that this can be a lot of pressure also, carrying all of that, maybe not even knowing how to express these things, not having the right words, and just having all these feelings, all these thoughts. Sometimes it's just too much. And beyond of that, I am really happy to hear about your intentions for the year. What are you taking into 2026? In what area are you not forcing yourself? And what are still your ambitions for this year? Because again, I think 2026 will be my most impactful year, and still I'm not at war with myself anymore. I like this. I think this should be a motto. Maybe we should print it on a cup or something. Anyways, okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you, and I see you in the next one. Bye. I forgot to say, subscribe to my channel if you want more of this. Thank you. Bye.